All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for hopping on the Builders Call. My name's Andrew Taylor, and I've been with Family First Life for since they pretty much opened, a few months after they opened. My agent code was family. It was FFL 356. So I was the 356th person to join with the company. Dom Rogers was FFL 1, which I'm always jealous of because he had the first agent code, which I think is awesome. But this has been an incredible journey, and I'm super grateful to even be around the people in the company, and I'm grateful to have been able to provide for my family. Um, Today we're going to talk about some tips on building, and that way, whatever you guys want to get out of this, you can try to get. But I want to go back to when I first started and one of the first trainings that I went to, what they went over before we get into everything. Um, Actually, before that, I want to throw some highlights in on the event. How many people got to go to the drop something in the chat if you were able to go to the Ignite event? I'm just curious. Awesome. So a ton of people. So you guys know what an amazing event it was. I just wanted to go over some of the highlights of things that I loved about the event. One, I don't know if you guys saw the slide, but we've FFL's issued 3 billion in life insurance in like 13 years or whatever it is. $3 billion in premium, not face amounts, which is incredible. So if you think like, okay, the amount of people we've impacted where they're going to get a check for their family is insane. The other thing I noticed is part of building a team is being able to promote and get people to events. Like that event was incredible. Like it changed the way I see the business, and I've been to tons of events, but it helped me even at this stage get better. But everyone was amazed by the fact that Jay Masca, he had his team stand up. And they said when everybody sat down, it looked like it sounded like a herd of buffalo, um, like running through the place. And I was thinking, it's so powerful that he is able to promote these events so well. And it's going to be hard for people to keep up with them if they don't do the same thing, if people don't get around and if they're not able to change by getting around people that are doing better for them. So number one, um, if you want to build a team, I would go to every event. I would find the next event and I would make sure that it's like a non-negotiable for everybody to go. Like I don't even work with people if they don't go because I know how big of an impact it'll have on them and how fast it'll speed up their career. But I guess we could ask this question to you guys. How serious are you when you're telling people about these events? Is it a non-negotiable? Is it, hey, can you go? Because for me, I'm like, look, we're all going and we're bringing people because we want to learn about the industry and we want to grow faster than anyone. And like, really, it's not that hard to get a flight or drive and go change your whole career, especially with what people can do in business. Like people can lose money. So if you want to think about this, people can lose money in all types of entrepreneurial industries. Like if you want to open up any type of business, you could lose money. But if you start in life insurance, people expect to make money right away. So I kind of tell people like, look, you can you can spend, you can invest money and break even or reinvest for a while. Like Jay said at the conference, he's like, once he noticed that Amazon lost money for 10 years and all these big companies lost money for 10 years, he wasn't scared to reinvest, but it's getting that message to new people. So we had a lot of new agents and they're fired up. The company is one of my friends called me. They're like, I don't work for FFL, but it looks like FFL is taking over because it looks like FFL is taking over the industry because I don't even work there. And all I saw was FFL on everybody's stories. I'm like, yeah, that's legit. The next thing is Trey Honeycutt. So Trey Honeycutt's an incredible speaker. I'm not sure if he's on here, but in his talk, he was talking about how much baggage he had and how many things he had to let go of before he started to grow. And he was basically saying, look, it's okay if you're messed up because we're all messed up, but he was able to kind of put that behind him and all the bad things he had this line. He said, a lot of God's gifts come in ugly wrapping paper. And I was like, dude, and he's like, and you don't really know it. And I'm just like, dude, that's so powerful because like everybody on here, we've done this exercise a lot, but everybody on here is for sure going through something. And if we can just put that aside for today and focus on helping people and focus on the activity, then the amount we can grow will be absolutely insane. And what you can do for your family. All right, so the next thing, and we're going to open this up for Q&A for everybody in a little bit, but I just want to hit on these few things. All right, so how many people on here know what they want? Like, do you want to buy a new car? Do you want to buy a house? Do you want to help your mom? Do you want to do something for your kids? Like, what's driving you to do this business? How many people know that? How many people feel like they have a helping my family? So Paul Smith, helping my family, my independence. So most people it's their family. So my big drive not to quit, because I wanted to quit a lot. Um, every 3 weeks, I would say it'd get really hard to close customers, and then I'd have to get through that little period of it being tough. Lead example for my daughter. That's good, Gary, because I've thought a lot lately about like I got kids and I'm like, you can leave them money, which can ruin them, or you can leave them an example of being a hard worker and not quitting when things get tough, which can help them forever. And it doesn't have anything to do with finances. So I like that you said that, Gary. Just setting an example for your kids. That's legit. Um, fund money, I like that too. So have retirement. So when I first started, a big thing for me was I wanted to make like I grew up with a single mom who's amazing. She's a beast. And 4 kids, single mom, no life insurance, widowed, got 3 jobs. And I was just like, I want to make money so I could help her. And I don't have to worry like I don't have to be in the same situation with my family as she was. So at one of these conferences, someone said, hey, draw out a T chart. And they said, on the left side, put down what you want. And on the right side, put down what you're going to do to get it. So let's say like, does anybody in here want a cool car? I'm just curious if that's on somebody's list. Like, all right, Carlos, what do you want? What kind of car you want, Carlos? Lambo. Okay. All right. So on the left side of the T chart, I'm going to put that I want a Lambo. Okay. On the right side of the T chart, though, I'm going to put what I'm going to have to give up to get that Lambo. So my T chart has changed over the years, but my first one was to win a carrier trip because I'd never really gone anywhere before. And I wanted to win a carrier trip and be around other top producers. So like Cancun would be a good goal right now, like if you're an agent. But let's say Lambo, win a carrier trip, save your first $100,000. Let's say that's one of your goals. Now on the right side of this T chart, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put down what you're willing to do to what you're willing to give up to get that. So Carlos, actually, can you unmute real quick, Carlos? Maybe. If you can, oh, it doesn't let you. Okay, don't unmute then. All right. So, you could type it in the chat. Carlos, what are you willing to do to get that Lambo? Like activity wise? Like, are you willing to dial 250 calls a day? Okay. Are you willing to take 30 flights this year? Actually, let's say 60 flights this year to get in front of people to build an agency and really connect with them and go to all the events? For real, you're really willing to do that. Now, let's say Carlos says, "Let me be honest with myself, I won't do that," and maybe he will. Um, like then what you got to do is you got to cross the Lambo off and you got to put like something more realistic to his work ethic, like maybe like a Nissan Maxima, which is sick. Nissan Maximas are tight. They're nice cars. But the point of this exercise, like a lot of people are like, I would love to have a company like Family First Life, but they don't know that what Sean did when the company opened to build it, like most people would never do. He was on a flight like every day, every single day. He was on a flight going and building the company. So part of his T chart was like he was willing to do all those things. But like when you start to build an agency, this is a good exercise because it's like, okay, I want to have 50 agents selling under me. Let's say we could put that on there. Well, what are you willing to do? Are you willing to be the top producer on your team? Are you willing to reinvest some of that money into ads and other things? Are you willing to stay away from the negative people and gravitate towards the positive people? Are you willing to shut people down if they just want to gossip to you? And if they're seeking, if they're just trying to find satisfaction in complaining, or are they trying to find a solution? Are you just going to deal with the people that just want to find a solution? Because that's what I found super helpful. Are you going to stay like the people that complain and call you and tell you things don't work? Are you going to find a new group of people? And even if they're your friends, like not really listen to them anymore so you can separate yourself to get to the next level? Because that's in every office. You got the negative people in every office. They're just quietly chattering and until everybody's doing so well that they're just uncomfortable because they know it doesn't make any sense. So I absolutely love this. And then you can go, okay, can I fall in love with my activity numbers? The best way to recruit is to make money. The best way to get agents selling is to be the top producer on your team. The best way to get good is to go through a lot of repetition. For a new agent, if you um like let's say a new agent starts with me, I like to say, dude, consider your first 100 appointments as practice. How fast can we get through them? Because after then you'll have every scenario you'll possibly need, but how fast can we get through those 100 appointments? Can we use Lead Center now so you can move even faster and you don't need help with as much help with underwriting? I mean Life Center. Can you use Life Center now? Um, for now, let's say for new agents, I do want to hit on this real quick. For new agents, how many people feel like they kind of baby new agents? I'm just curious. And be honest. Okay. So I babied new agents for a really long time until I realized I was actually hurting them. And people like to be around like Zach Twardowski, he's gonna get on at the end of this. Um, and he's gonna go over a quick Life Center demo. But the reason I like being around him is because he's just straight up like, let's do the work and nobody gets babied. And you can see it in his team. Like the people on his team, you can see that they're also doing the same thing. But the way and like has anyone on here had a spoiled friend that when they grow up, you realize it actually hurt them because their parents did everything for them? Has anyone had that? So I like what Sean Mike's been saying lately. He's like if you've gone through a lot of stuff and you weren't spoiled, you're actually more prepared for success than someone who had everything given to them. And I always like the underdog stories anyways. So I love that, which is why I always lose in Vegas because I always bet on the underdog because I'm just like, yeah, the it's going to be this miraculous win and then they don't win. But sometimes they do, but they don't do it all the time and I always bet on the underdog. Um, but like you're actually the favorite. So new agents coming in. I've had some of my best friends come in. I've had uh family members come in, and I'm still doing the same thing, which is sink or swim. When I recruit you, this is my closing line. I'm gonna go, Gary, you could be lying to me about how good you are at sales right now, how good you are at recruiting, and I wouldn't know. And I could be lying to you about how good this opportunity is and how much I'm going to help you, and you wouldn't know. So the only way to find out if we're both going to do what we say we're going to do is the next 3 weeks, we're going to take massive action. And after that 3 weeks, if it's a fit, then we can keep working together. And if not, let's just move on. But that way we don't drag this process on for 6 months. Does that sound good? And you need to make money right now, right? I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay, so let's get you leads in hand now and let's see if this is a fit. And let's get you calling right away. That's my close every single time if I'm talking to an agent. All right. Next thing. I traveled around to all these offices to learn from all the fast growing teams because I feel like you never want to get to a point to where you think you know everything and everything's constantly changing. So like um, now you have key principles that will always stay the same, but I traveled around and I listened to all these big offices and I asked them what they're doing. And I want to share this with you guys because we tested it out and it worked really well. Um, so I didn't know this, but I guess what a lot of people can do now. Oh, new or second chance leads for sink or swim. Neil, dude, I don't care. Second chance is like it don't matter, dude. If you got to sink or swim is if you have to sell your neighbor, like if you have a burning desire to win and you can't stop the right person from winning and you can't get the wrong person to win long term in this industry. You'll never stop you'll never stop the right person. They'll be like they will figure it out no matter what. So like, I'm like, dude, massive activity and like let's find out super fast if you're good and let's get uncomfortable. So I don't really care, dude. Like I don't care if it's new or second chance or what, because I was calling old leads that were printed out that had been stomped on forever and they had mustard and ketchup stains all over them because so many people had tried to call them that they spilled their food on them. And I didn't care because I'm like, dude, I don't want to lose, you know? I absolutely don't want to lose. All right, but at these different offices, um, what people are doing is they're boosting their stories on social media. And basically what they're doing is they're going like 30 miles outside of an office that they're at, if they are at an office. And that way they can get local recruits or 30 minutes outside of where they are, 30 miles. And basically, it's just a really simple ad that says like you can work virtually. You could. This is what you can do. Describes the ad a little bit, and we just did it for like a few dollars. And Gary, what'd you get when you did that ad in Vegas? Can you put it in the chat? Because Gary Michaels is in the office next door to me. Like, what were the results, and what'd you spend on it?
Well, he just asked me to unmute. So the ad started on Thursday night, and we did $10 a day with the 30 miles around here on Instagram. And we got 51 people so far that have shown an interest, like want to know about it. That's just in 3 days. And then I reply back with, okay, If you want to know more about this awesome opportunity, what's your phone number? So that's another buy-in. And I got 22 phone numbers back. And not only that, is the first day my recruiter called the five that came in. He said that it's the most responsive he's ever had. He's been recruiting for me for 2 years. Most responsive he's ever had about people going, yes, I want to talk to you. I want to set an interview with you. Hired one already, has 4 interviews, and has got a list of 20 people to call today, all local here.
How much did it cost?
$30 so far, $10 a day.
Yeah, so this was a hack when I went on the road last few weeks ago. Like I asked every office, the younger agents that are good at social media, they're using this cheat code. And I think there's so many people that will be interested in doing this that like we could all do it and we could all win. Like there's no reason we can't all do it. So it's just a simple story. It's not like an ad. It's just boosting a simple story and they can just DM you if they want information. So I wanted to share that with you guys because you can take some of your commissions, you could reinvest in things like that that can help you. Gary, can you unmute again?
Yeah.
So the other thing, a lot of people, this is kind of off topic, but a lot of people go want to know where to buy leads, and there's a lot of good lead places. But Gary, can you tell everybody about what you recently did and the results?
Oh my God. So I've been depending on Ethos leads, and I've been crushing it. I'm probably I'm gonna try to do 600, and I think being in the office has been big, and my best year was 420. But there's been less Ethos leads recently because of just everybody's getting them. So Andrew came in my office. He said, "Dude, get on AutoShip, okay, and get on AutoShip with the IUL leads." And get on ship with some Ethos leads. And what's been crazy about it is like I wrote 20 some $1,000 the first week just with those new leads, Andrew. Like, and like I can't even get them through quick because they're like receptive. I call up and I say, yeah, I'm calling you about the IUL, and they remembered. It was like 2 days ago. They're real-time leads. It's like
Yeah,
crazy.
Jack, when you do this demo, maybe you can also show how to order these leads because a lot of people don't even know how to order them, which it is a little confusing, but it's not that confusing. Like, but so you wrote 21K, so the response was good on these leads?
In 3 days. I wrote before I did that. I had 3 0 days in a row, and I came to you kind of frustrated. Remember, I said, "Dude, leads are like, what do I need to do?" And then I did it on that Friday, I think, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday last week, and I wrote one Thursday morning before I hopped on the plane. 24,000, 24,000.
So Isaac, we'll do Zach, I believe, can do a quick demo and show you guys how to do the auto order for leads. Now that's a huge tip. Like the other hack that I found from flying around and seeing everybody was the agents that do the best, their managers expect them to get leads every week, and it's not a small amount of leads. It's like they'd be like, all right, Gary, go make a policy, go sell a policy, and you're going to spend 100% of that money on leads. And then every week after that, you're going to spend $1,000 or $2,000 every single week. Now the agent has so many leads that it's hard for them to fail, but the manager is actually just good at selling them on getting leads every week. And then they have skin in the game, so they also work harder and they don't back out because they don't want to lose $1,000. So that's another really powerful thing. So ask yourself this. All right. How many people on here have 10 agents on their team? Or who's someone that has 10 agents on their team? Uh, all right, Marisa does. Now, Marisa's good, so this is a little dangerous asking her. Let's see. Who else? No one else does? All right, Justice. So I don't know Justice. Can you guys unmute Justice real quick?
What's
All
going
right,
on?
Justice. How many agents do you have on your team?
Currently in testing and dialing total, I think it's 15, but yeah,
What about licensed?
licensed, I think probably close to 10. I think it's 9.
9? Okay. Now, out of the license, how many people are on this call?
I can look here. I think
How many do you
2,
think?
just 2, I think, or maybe 3.
Okay, so let's say you got 2 people on the call. How many people are buying leads on auto order every week?
As of now, 2. Yeah, 2.
Okay. How many people went to the Ignite event?
2, or one of my guys, and then my upline as well.
Okay, so 1.
Yeah, just 1.
And how many people get on all of the major calls every single week?
All of the major calls.
Like this call, the annuity training call, like plug into everything.
These calls, not really much at all, but we just run kind of our own trainings, but I'm just trying to, start to get people
Okay,
on
so
these.
0. Okay. So like what I tell people, and I had to do this exercise for myself, is you don't have 9 agents, you have 2.
Mhm.
And until we can get these 9 agents to actually be real agents, then we can count them as agents. But how do you count them as agents? Do they get on every training? Do they go to the events? And are they on auto order for leads? Because that way you'll know that they'll consistently produce. So our job as managers is to try to get people to do that because it's going to help them. And just buying leads here and there can kind of hurt them, you know?
Yeah.
So how do we get them to go all in? Now, one way is you could sell, but how good of a promoter are you? Now, did you call everybody and try to get them to go to the Ignite event and they didn't want to?
No, I mean, I really, in regards to that, not much effort on my part was
You
put in.
didn't push it.
Yeah, I didn't really push it.
Now, were you there?
I was not. I'm traveling right now.
Okay, got it. Got
Yeah.
it.
But what would be your advice in terms of the leads? Because currently I have most people on the like a lead program where I'm providing leads for them. Um, if I don't feel like maybe they're at the point where they're gonna be super profitable if they start buying leads, do you think it's still a good idea to just push people to get on the lead programs? Because don't you think
Yeah,
it can be
see,
kind of
dude, you're
counterintuitive?
babying people right now. Like,
Yeah,
you know how many people I buy leads for?
I'm gonna guess a low number.
0. You know how many people, how many writing agents we have? Like maybe on a yearly basis, like 10,000 probably.
Mm-hmm.
So like, let me ask you this. Is there any reason why somebody can't go make a sale, take all of that money and buy leads?
If they have to pay rent, I guess, and they're broke. But I mean, really, no, if they do have any sort of money to pay their bills.
So if somebody has to pay rent and they're broke like that, did they have a job when they started here?
I mean, some, and yeah.
Because this is the thing. If they don't feed their business, then they're just going to be in the same position the next month. They're going to pay their rent, and then they're not going to have money for leads, and they're going to be broke, and then they're not going to be able to pay their rent.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just try to get people to go, okay, let's consistently have people to talk to. So we're not calling the same leads, which is depressing. And you start to feel like a stalker because you're calling the same person 72 times a day because you have commission breath because you need to make a sale.
Hmm.
And let's give people enough people to talk to where they have room for error and they can truly play a numbers game. You know, now I don't care where people get leads. You can get leads for, you can get age leads for $1 or $2. If someone doesn't go do that and they don't want to grind and make a sale, um, dude, they should probably go get their job back. Like the two things aren't going to work. It's not going to work out. And dude, there's nothing wrong with being part-time. I've had a lot of people start part-time, sell on the weekends and in the evenings, and do great, and eventually phase out of their job. Like I have no
That's
issue
like
with that.
with myself. That's how I got into it.
Yeah, I got no issue with that. But like that's up to you if you want to buy everybody leads, if that's your model. But like we said earlier, like, dude, let me tell you how I was bagging groceries. I had no sales experience. If I got leads, I would have a goal and a drop dead goal. A drop dead goal means you're hitting it no matter what. You're not going home if you don't hit your goal. So, dude, I would get local leads. You could try to sell them over the phone. If I couldn't sell them over the phone, I would go knock on their door. I wonder how many people now would go knock on somebody's door. Has anyone done that recently in the chat? Like you just go knock on their door because they don't answer? Now, dude, that saved me, but I had this desire where like everyone at the grocery store told me I was gonna go back, I was gonna fail. And I was like, dude, I ain't going back. They were waiting for me to go back and ask for my job back and say insurance didn't work. And I didn't, I was like, I ain't doing that. Now, the other thing is, let's say you like s- success is contagious and fearlessness is contagious, but you got to share the stories. So like we got two kids in high school that they have no leads. They go knock on doors and they're writing probably 30 apps a month with no leads, door knocking. So it's like it, I like to share that with people because it just shows you what can be done. All right. Let's see here. We can take oh shoot. If you guys can put it back on full screen, whoever's sharing. Yeah, there we go. All right. The next thing. This is not for this call, but I want to talk about it because I think it could make everybody a lot of extra money. Um, how many people on here want to learn how to write annuities? And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because if an agent's profitable, they can stay around longer. And if we sell a lot of annuities, then they can be really profitable because the average commission is like $5,000 and the annuities are in front of all of us all day long. So tomorrow there's an annuity call that everybody should be on and your entire team should be on it because we're just leaving money on the table when we don't do it. But I want to give you guys some newbies on how to sell annuities, even if you're like, I don't know anything about them, I'm not confident, I'm intimidated. I'm going to give you guys a really simple formula on how to do it. So this is what we're going to do, okay? It's called booking an appointment from an appointment. We call this the BAM fam. When you book an appointment from an appointment, basically what you're going to be doing is like we all are going to talk to people about life insurance all week this week. And after you close a deal, you're going to say, "Hey, Mrs. Smith, next week we're going to review your policy, but I also noticed when we went through the financial questionnaire that you have a 401k of $400,000, and I'm going to put together what I call the Sleep Well at Night program." And I'm going to show you some options where you can never lose any money if something crazy happens in the world. I know you probably worked your whole life for that retirement, and it looks like you did a great job. But if we go to World War III, have a natural disaster, somebody does something crazy in politics, it won't affect your money, but you can still also make a good rate of return if the market goes up on these plans. So I'm gonna put that together for you and show it to you. That way you know that there is another option there as well. And so all you're doing is you're booking appointments to present annuities to your current customer base. And this is all training that happens all week long. I mean, every single week. But I would start to get your team to understand things like this. And then the magic word, the golden question is when you're talking to a customer, you're just saying, "Mr. and Mrs. Smith, what do you have that acts like life insurance?" And then you identify what they have. So you can be like, "Do you have stocks, bonds, CDs, 401ks, all these different things?" They're going to go, "Yeah, I have stocks and CDs." And you're going to say, "What do you have?" And they say, "I have 400,000 in my 401k." Well, you're not going to talk about it then because you don't want a tidal wave sale. So you're going to skip over it and then you're going to wrap around to the very end and you're going to do what I said, which is the BAM fam. Next week, when we go over your policy, I'm also going to put together these options that will give you, we call the Sleep Well at Night program, where you can never lose any money on your retirement that you worked your entire life for. And if we have World War III, any type of what we call systemic risk, which is something we can't control, that you can't control, that can affect your retirement money, it'll protect you from that. And when you lay your head on the pillow at night, you don't got to worry about losing all your money. So, let's see. So basically, your agents can make so much more money, and you guys can use the Ask a Specialist tab to go and run the scenario, and they'll help you run the illustration so you can easily explain it to the client. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to be an annuity expert to start this. And every 10 appointments, you should have 3 annuity appointments booked. And then you can ask a specialist, will run the illustrations for you, or you can partner with another agent and do a commission split, and they can help run the illustrations for you. But how to build a big agency, get people making money, and then teach people to reinvest. That way they can run a company, and they're not just trading time for dollars every single day until, and like, I don't think anybody wants to have to sell insurance to pay their bills every single month for the rest of their lives. I've never heard anybody say that. So let's crush with annuities, get comfortable being uncomfortable, and every 3 appointments that you present, I would usually close 1 just from the person just wanting it anyways. Like they just be like, yeah, I want that, you know? All right. So we are going to bring on Zach T, and we're going to do a Life Center demo. And we're also going to go over how to order these leads that Gary was talking about. So I appreciate you guys. I'm excited to build FFL. This is going to be yeah, I met Thursday, guys. Thursday is the SRS liftoff call. But this is going to be a run that FFL has that no one's ever seen before, because the virtual sales and the way the company's structured and the producer bonuses and the good people that work here that want to help each other. So I want you guys to be a part of this run. It's going to be like the first one we had, which was literally like, that'll go down in history, but we're here again. So now's a good time to go all in, get focused, and let's grow this thing. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Zach. In the meantime, until Zach takes over, let's see here. Yeah, so let's see how to automate leads and lead centers. Zach's going to go over this, but basically, if you go to the marketplace and you check out, what's going to happen is you can click on, when you go to check out, it says automate and save, and you get 15% off of all the leads available in there if you automate and save, which means you're committing to taking those leads for 4 weeks, which every agent should do anyways. That way you stay uncomfortable and you have to go work. Oh, let's see. Okay, so Zach's not going to be popping on, so all good. I'll go over this with you guys, and so you guys can take notes, and then you guys can go test it out, okay? So you're going to go into Lead Center, automate and save, 15% off.
You can
And
talk them
then-
through it. I'll pull it up if you want. My bad. I just
Okay,
didn't
yeah,
know
pull it
that
up.
all.
Yeah.
You see my screen?
Yeah. Okay, cool. You want me to talk? Are you on another call?
No, I'm good now. I'm
Okay,
totally
cool.
good now. So, well, finish the thought you had about about lead center, and then I'll go into the life center discussion.
Yeah, so basically people on here, they also want to know how to order, because Gary wrote like 21,000 off of the IUL leads in there, but no
Mhm.
one knows how to order them real time. So everyone's asking if they can you can show them how to do a real time custom campaign.
Got it. Okay. Can you see my screen where it went to lead center or no?
Yeah.
So you go to campaigns over here, real-time leads, and then create campaign. And that's literally it, right, Drew?
And then go down and show them more because they get lost here.
Okay.
So you got to click on data. That's the campaign type. Life. And then you got to click on index universal life lead, $25. And then go to next.
Oh, Andrew, I think you muted your. There you
Yeah,
go.
and then you're going to click 3 states. Let's just walk everybody through the whole thing. So you can add 3 states.
Now, the more states, the better, right, Andrew? Like
I think you can
bigger
only
leads
do
in.
3 max.
Okay.
But yes, the more states, the more likely your order will get filled. But let's see if you could do more. Oh yeah, it does let you do more. Okay. So let's go to next, Zach. Type in how many you want per week. So let's say you want 20, 50 a week. Okay. And then the lead center cache. Let's show everybody how that works. So basically the way this works is click on add funds to lead center cache and go back and go to configure auto reload settings. So you can update it to where when your account gets low, it'll just automatically reload your lead center cache. So that way your leads are coming out, they're on autopilot every single week. And then and you can choose, do you want to reload it when your balance gets to 100, 250, 500? An amount to reload. So it's pretty cool how much you can customize it. But anyways, yeah, that's it. And then you just go to launch campaign.
Easy.
Yep.
Cool. Now, the other thing we wanted to go over with everyone real quick was, and we did for everyone that Ignite, this might be a little bit repetitive, but we wanted to go through showing everyone Life Center because we got a lot of really good feedback from everyone that was there about how easy it would be. And I missed some of what Andrew talked about, but I assume because I've learned a lot from Andrew, a lot of what he talked about was how to be able to focus on the right things when you're building a business and not have to focus on things that don't make you money. And one of the biggest clogs that we've had, and one of the most annoying things, is that the feedback I get from agents is I have 20 different carrier websites, all these different quoting websites, all these different places I have to go to find everything to just tell my agents to do business, and it's not very streamlined. So what Integrity built was Life Center, which is right on the left side here, where you find your numbers, where you find Lead Center, where you go to Sure LC, HCMS. Life Center is here, and what Life Center has taken out kind of all of the back and forth and confusion that agents go through when they're getting started and they're trying to figure out what carrier I should write, what carrier I'm contracted with, all of the above. So when you go in here, you go to Quick Quote for whatever, and the first time you do it, it'll make you go and pick the products that you want to sell. So Final Expense, IUL, Simplified IUL. So then you go to do a quick quote, and let's say we're doing a let's say we're doing a final expense client, just to make it super easy. That's what a lot of new agents start with. Say they're in Colorado. You put in just the basic information. You don't have to put in height and weight. Only the stuff that starred you have to put in. And you can just put in the age or their birthday. You can add any health conditions on here. So this one, if it's by adding prescriptions, this one's by a health condition. So let's say they have blood pressure, add that. Okay. And then you say yes or no. It asks you differentiating questions, but this will literally teach, if you're not sure what to write, it'll tell you what to write. If your agents aren't sure what to write, it'll prevent them from calling you and going like, hey, Andrew, my client's on metformin and these 6 different prescriptions. What should I write? It'll eliminate that phone call. So that the only call you should have to take as a manager is how to actually present the product and actually do sales training, as opposed to underwriting and, having to go through and teach people different products and what products they can or can't write depending on what's going on. So it'll pop up with, the nice thing too for a manager is like, some of the other tools out there show every single possible carrier. These ones only will show the carriers that you or your agents are contracted with. So it'll show you the different option. And then depending on however you and your agency want to tell people what order to write things in, you can write them, but it'll show you just the carriers that you're contracted with. So say we want to do it through Mutual of Omaha, you type the client's name. Oops. And Andrew, if you have leads through Lead Center and you pull it from a client from Lead Center, it'll pull up their name in there like these ones, right?
Yeah, so all your leads from Lead Center will automatically be uploaded in here.
Cool.
So it's like super fast. And then all the information automatically populates onto your quote tool too. So like you don't have to put it in.
Yeah.
It'll pull their birth date, all that stuff.
So it pulled all of mine directly from the lead that I had in there for whoever Andrew Larkson was. And it puts me right here to where I can not have to log in again. It has, if I had plugged in the information there, it would be here, but I don't have to sign in at all. So I think this is one thing that every manager should adopt, because for me, and I think what Andrew talked about earlier, like, how do you become really profitable? It's, you focus on things that actually make you money, right? Which for us, it's selling life insurance, it's recruiting new agents, and it's training people how to sell life insurance. It's not answering underwriting questions. It's not answering 100 calls about what medications people can and can't get qualified for. So if you guys can get really good at adopting this and teaching agents to use that tool, then they can call you and they can go like, hey, Andrew, I'm on here with Bob Smith. He's not sure what to write, or he's not sure if he wants to buy or not. Can you help me? I'm not having to go, hey, Andrew, like, what can Bob qualify for? Like, he can actually spend time and help me take over the call and teach me how to close, as opposed to just answering underwriting questions and trying to figure out which carrier I can and can't write with. And then having to tell me, hey, go call Americo and see what your login is. Like, I don't have to do any of that stuff because it logs you in automatically. I saw Andrew on there. Someone asked that how do you add carriers that aren't showing up? If there's carriers that are not showing up on there, most of the time it means that you're not contracted with them yet. If there's Andrew, do you know where the best place for them to send issues to if they pop up?
I think there's a thing right on there, like a support thing. And they get back fast.
Yeah.
Like at the bottom, it'll be like contact support, and they get back super fast.
I think if you go to your account on there as well, Angel, if you go to your selling permissions on there, it'll tell you which carriers are added, which carriers are on there. And I think you can manually add carriers on the bottom so it'll be, there's 2 different sections. It says active selling permissions and then manually attested permissions. So if something for whatever reason is not showing up there, then you can add them in manually there. And then Steven, there is a video that shows you how to use Life Center and Lead Center. We can send it out to everyone that was on this call. We'll just pull the record and we'll send it out to everybody. But Andrew and I did a demo a while back, going through exactly how to use it and how it works, and kind of top to bottom of how it all works. But you can use that as a training tool for your agents to, instead of you going through and doing a demo like this, you can send that video out. And I think that was one of the things I learned from Andrew was instead of having to have like the answers for everyone on everything, it's, if you get really good at just pointing people to the right tools, it makes you really efficient as a manager. And I learned that when I was in Vegas with Andrew, people would call him. And what I used to always do was spend 45 minutes answering every question. He would just go, "Hey, did you check out this video? Hey, here's this tool." And it would just point people to the right tools so he could be way more efficient. So we'll send that video out. And then again, if you guys can get really good at pointing people to use this tool, it'll buy you time back so you can focus on things that actually make you money and help us help families and do what Andrew talked about and really ride this next crazy wave we're about to go on. So
Yeah, Zach, we have a lot of videos on. I don't know about your YouTube, but our YouTube channel, FFL USA, has a ton of videos on Life Center that you can go
Yep.
that you can go find that you can use to just share how to use it. But it's really easy to use. It's like anything. You just have to do it once, and then you're going to be like, "Oh, damn, this is easy."
yeah.
So, all right, guys, let's crush it. Zach, thanks for getting on and doing this demo.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate everything. Great seeing everyone in Phoenix. And dude, let's finish out this year strong. We're halfway there. So time to put the hammer down and finish out, right?
Yep, let's roll. See you
Cool.
guys.
Appreciate you guys.